All right, so welcome to everyone. Welcome near and far. So we have folks here from lots of states, and if I don't name a state where you're from, just holler it out. But I think we have California, Arizona, Colorado, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Indiana, Texas, and Illinois. So that's pretty impressive. So thank you all. Arkansas, thank you. So, and Missouri.
Anybody else?
Man,
That's not a state, Jack.
so
Miami's not a state, son. So anyway, so for Michael's 40th birthday, that's not either. You be quiet, both of you guys. So for Michael's 40th birthday, he has requested that he was going to get roasted by his two brothers.
he has requested that multiple times, and
I'm not sure that he knows what a roast is, so it may not go exactly as a roast, as my mom told me I couldn't say certain things.
however, we are going to talk a lot about you, and we're going to go way back, and there might be a little bonus for you at the end if you can survive this whole deal. So why don't you come on up here, buddy?
Yeah, there's a seat for you up here. Before we get going, we need to turn on the monitors.
Well, first of all, we forgot to welcome him to the first and only 40th birthday Michael Walker Hanlon extravaganza.
Pretty sure. Emma Hanlon is our techie.
Emma is a theater major, so she's used to being on stage, but she's going to be our tech today.
So we'll see how that goes. Now, Sean, why don't you kick it off?
All right, Michael? Wouldn't be appropriate to start this thing until we go way back to when this whole thing started, right? So, meeting Michael for the first time, go ahead and advance. So this is Michael on day one. Now, I am only 14 months older than this fella, which means that when I was 5 months old, Mom was pregnant with Michael, so God bless you, Mama. So I am told when I was 14 months old and when Michael was presented to me as his brother, that I had to kind of do like some due diligence, and I kind of went over to Michael and I said, eyes, nose, etc. And after I went through that test, he is my brother. So this next slide is sort of a reenactment of the first moment that I met Michael. And I say reenactment because I did the whole eyes, nose thing. And then they said, we need to get that on video. And so the second round, go ahead, Nims. The second round, you'll see that I sometimes start to go for his face, and Mama Bear kind of grabs my hand. So this is me meeting Michael for the first time, pudgy old Shawnee boy. And this is your brother, Sean. This hairless monkey look, that thing is my brother? Are you kidding me? And so they put Michael on my lap, and I do the test and discover, I guess, he is my brother. I'm going to give you some lovin's here in a second. It's going to be real embarrassing. Oh, hey, Michael. Hey, buddy. Are you... Oh, you got a heartbeat and everything. Oh, there you go. Oh, I love Michael. Oh, see Mama Bear. Playing defense. Not gouge my baby again. Some loving. All right. Next slide.
Yeah, so Sean wrote the outline for this, so he got to do the first touching one. Mine's called Human Whoopee Coochie.
Don't act like you didn't request that.
The subtitle is You Weren't Always Cute, Sometimes Smelly. So, as we saw tonight, Michael is a musician, just like many people in this room tonight. We discovered his first musical talent when I was 9 years old. We were in the kitchen. The reason I remember being 9 years old is our grandmother made these needlepoint things, and we'd put our ages up on them, and they were hung the same place every year. Michael was standing underneath it, and we were messing with him, and we discovered a very interesting and fun game with Michael, that if you push on his stomach, the title of this slide happens. Then he would start giggling out of control, which would cause it to continue to happen, which would cause us to continue to do it, to the point where he would end up on the ground, and Sean's favorite thing to do would be step on it. And Michael says that happened once for a week.
But it was hilarious. All right, Ian. Okay, so go ahead and advance. Advance one, and just leave it here for a second. So Michael was a slugger, and Tomboy and some others have played baseball, Uncle Eddie, and they would tell you that you need to hold a baseball bat with two hands. All right. Watch Caveman Michael go at this tee like he means business. Here he goes. Here comes the pitch. Oh wait, let me turn around first. And he crushes the nonsense out of this ball. Now, in addition to being quite the slugger as a little tyke, Michael was also the leader of our big wheel band, our gang. Next slide, please. So there's me and Patrick in tow, but Michael is clearly the leader of this outfit. And he's saying, all right, boys, and we ride. Here we go. Little glimpse from Prairie Street, 1053.
Next. Michael also has pulled a couple of Houdini acts, which were funny now. And the first one, when we were living on the 1013? 1053. 1053. An address over on the other side of Fremont Street. I'm not sure what was going on because I was about 2 years old. I've just heard this story, and we apparently had a refrigerator that seemed like a tempting place to go take a nap as a 4-year-old. And
playing hide and go seek.
Playing hide and go seek.
I don't know why I did it.
He was determined to win, apparently. Well, Michael locked himself in the refrigerator, which is dangerous. Now they allow you to kick yourself out. And we all know we've done that. And
I wasn't trying to lock myself in there. I was trying to have the door be open and have you not find me.
we had no central air.
Except the door shut.
Right. So, Mom, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Mother's intuition took over and you decided that your son might be in the refrigerator and you went and found him.
That was the gallon of milk and things that were out of the refrigerator.
He had to make comfortable.
So he could fit in.
Yeah. You're not going to lay down around that stuff. The other one, which we were at Pentwater, which is a place we went to vacation every year. And if you were down by the coast where the water meets the sand, you look up, it looked pretty much the same because the cabins were mostly hidden. And so all of a sudden we realized Michael wasn't with us anymore. And
only about 7 years old.
he was only about 7 years old. And so we all knew that he was lost, and we were looking for him, and I don't have any idea how long.
Big storm was coming.
Big storm was coming. How long was he lost? Well, it turns out Michael wasn't lost, because when we found him, he was with 2 girls in bikinis down the beach. Michael just corrected me, 3 girls.
Or 7.
So, those were Houdini acts, which weren't funny then. They're funny now.
All right, one of my most favorite things to do is to read stories to the kids, and I think I have Michael to thank for that. Growing up, Michael loved having stories told to him out loud, whether books or made up. And his favorite thing was if Dad would make up troll stories. So we would listen to these troll stories. And I mean, even today, all through his life, he would still like to tell stories. So we're at Pentwater, and we're in the cabin, and he decides he wants to tell some ghost stories. He comes up with this great story, this monster named the Claw that has some kind of a, every fair monster has some tell.
He was a cowboy monster.
I don't remember that, but and anyway, so Michael tells the story of the Claw, and Patrick and I get this great idea. Hey, let's go down to the campfire on the beach and tell some more ghost stories, and I'll take Michael's story and make it expanded and scare the crap out of him. So Patrick and I conspired. We went down to the campsite. It kind of looked like this, except it was dark. And so I take Michael's Claw. There was a shed down there kind of by the beach, and I made up the story that there's this long-time legend in Pentwater, Michigan of the Claw, and that he's gone missing, but apparently he lived in this shed. And he had a sign, like a noise that he made, kind of clicking noise with this big old claw. And so I'm telling this story. Patrick says, hey, I gotta run upstairs and grab something to drink. I'll be right back. The conspiracy. He goes up a ways and starts making the claw noise, and then just runs back and scares the pants off of all of us. So we scared Michael with his own ghost story. It was a good one.
The next thing we're going to do is we're going to test Michael. He's a big fan of movie quotes. There's no scriptedness in this.
Michael knows nothing about this. Good
So
luck.
we are going to see how well he does in movie quotes. So we're going to say the first part of it, and Michael is going to maybe say the second part of it.
Ready?
First one is from Tombstone. You ever seen that movie? Okay. Say, Ike, maybe poker just ain't your game.
I know. How about we have ourselves a spelling cone?
That's correct.
All right, Michael, also from Tombstone. Oh, that guy's so drunk, he's probably seeing double.
I got 2 guns, one for the both of you.
Correct. Okay, Sean, remind me of the 2 fellas' names in this next one.
We've got Pete and Delmar from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
That's right. It was Delmar that started.
I think, no,
Pete.
Pete.
It's Pete then.
All right.
Pete says, "Do not seek the treasure."
We thought you was a toad.
Correct.
All right.
Right on time.
You're doing fantastic. Also from Oh Brother. So they are running away as we're doing the whole movie. Pete has figured out that when they get caught, they're going to be sentenced to a jail term that Pete will get out when he's 85 years old, and he's stomping mad about this, and he said, "I'll be 85 years old." What does Delmar say?
Well, I'll only be 82.
Correct.
So the line.
This next one's easy. I'm almost embarrassed that it's on here for Michael.
Yeah.
Also from Oh Brother. Come on in, boys.
The water is fine.
Correct.
Okay, moving on to Christmas vacation. Clark Griswold is shopping with good old Cousin Eddie. They're in the shopping center, and Clark has just agreed to buy Christmas gifts for Cousin Eddie's family. And Cousin Eddie says,
That's just a real nice surprise, Clark. Just a real nice surprise.
and while you're at it, Clark,
Buy something for yourself and make sure it's real nice.
real nice.
On to the Lord of the Rings. Sean, I'm going to let you do these.
All right, Lord of the Rings. Michael loves Lord of the Rings. He especially is fond of Gimli, who's a dwarf. And when I was in law school, This isn't a movie quiz, but I'll do this for you. When I was in law school, I came out of class, and I was talking to Michael on the phone, and we were probably doing movie lines like we were doing just now. And I saw this squirrel. It was the fattest little squirrel I've ever seen. He just looked like Gimli the dwarf. And I said, Michael, I just saw a Gimli squirrel. And yeah, Mike got all cracked up. So Lord of the Rings, Gimli is in need of some help. And one of his buddies decides that he's going to try to help him. Legolas? Legolas says, hey, you just got to get over this chasm. I'll just throw you over there. And what does Gimli say?
No one tosses a dwarf.
Correct. Well, Michael, you just scored 100% on the Try to Stump Michael movie quiz. All right. You guys have heard of King of Pop, somebody named Michael. What you didn't realize is that it started with this fellow right here. So, back in the day, this is me dancing like a spaz, and then Michael's going to come on and show me how to really dance. Michael kind of observes for a minute and thinks, what is he? It's smooth, Michael. Oh yeah. Get it, buddy. You got the groove, buddy. I don't.
Oh, well, yeah, this is something Michael didn't know. He'd always liked the Thriller album. He asked for the Thriller album. We were planning on possibly putting something about Thriller in the show. I showed up at my parents' house yesterday. Michael had a present for me.
Easy now. Easy.
Unplanned.
Now, the beauty of this is that Michael fashions himself in the King of the Monsters, but back in the day when this video was out and we were 8, 9, 7, somewhere in there, Michael had to be taken out of some birthday party because they played this video.
Wait, no werewolf is as scary as Michael Jackson werewolf.
Don't get scared here.
This person really bad.